Hello everyone, welcome to my channel or welcome back. This is Moran and you are on Moran Arcana readings, and this is going to be a reading to see what's coming up for this week. So I'm gonna use the tarot as always, and then I'm pulling cards from three oracles, one message from the angels, one message from this oracle called Oracle of the Triad, and then a keyword, kind of keyword that you can use for the week. So I'm just gonna pull these on the side for now, because I'm gonna start with the tarot. So we're gonna use the tarot first. I'm gonna do the reading for the with the tarot, and then we'll go ahead with the message from the different oracles. So as always, while I shuffle the cards, I will shuffle the cards 3 times and then I will cut the pile in three. But while I shuffle the cards, if you can think of your situation, anything that you want answers of, questions that you have, whatever, think of your situation, and then we'll go ahead with the reading. As always, it's a collective reading, it's not a personal reading, so just take what resonates and leave the rest. But yeah, let's go ahead, and I'm shuffling the deck 3 times, and I would cut the pile in three, and then if you can think of your situation, anything that you want to know. So as you could see, a card pop up. So I usually don't put these in the reading. I keep them outside the reading, but I will let you know what this card say. It can be a message that is regarding the reading, or it can be something that is unrelated to the reading, but it's just a message that I need to let you know of. Okay, so wow. Wow, well, this is a very good week. We have 1, 2, 3 major arcanas. So we're gonna start the reading, but it's a very good week. We have a lot of victory, a lot of good things happening. But let's start with the first card is the World. So the World is a card that speaks about accomplishment, things that we've accomplished, things that we finished. It's like closing a chapter to start a new one. After the World comes the Fool, which is a new adventure, a new beginning, a new start. So here it says that this week you're going to close a chapter. You're going to finish something that you may have started a long time ago. At least there's a step of your life that is closing and a new is going to start. Okay. To me, regarding all these cards, is very good. It's very successful. So it's a big accomplishment, something big that you are closing. You're closing a chapter of your life that is quite successful, and you're opening a new one. So it's a very good card, very important. There's a lot of achievement, as I said. So you've achieved something. It's like a miles. How do you say it in English? Milestone, I think it's the word. It's like a milestone that you've achieved. So you've achieved something. You've accomplished something. A chapter is closing, and this is this week. This week, a chapter is closing, and we can clearly see that a new one is starting. So very good card. For the next one, we have the Eight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles means that you are working on a project. So you may be closing down a chapter, like I said, but you're already working on a new project. You're already working on something new, or it could be, if it's work related, it could mean that you are getting some kind of promotion of some kind of evolvement, at least in your work, because it's requiring you to work harder. So if it's work related, it's almost like you finishing a chapter of your work life and you're starting a new one. That could also mean that, for example, you have a 9 to 5 and you're working a 9 to 5, but you're closing down this chapter, and now you're working on your business, and you opening up to new opportunities. But there's some kind of evolvement, there's some kind of chapter ending, and there's some kind of like work. And this card is also a card of mastery. So you're becoming the master of whatever it is that you are working on. So if you know, if you're building a business, on the side, maybe this week you're gonna receive a sign that yes, you are on the right track and you are um, becoming the master of your craft or whatever, and some signs are going to show you that you are becoming the master of your craft. Second major arcana that we have is the Sun, and there is no better card in the tarot than the Sun card. This is one of the best cards of the tarot, if not the best. We do have a lot of amazing cards here anyway. The World is a good card. But yeah, the Sun represents joy, harmony. So whatever this chapter is closing, it's good for you. Okay, so it's going to bring you joy, it's going to bring you harmony, it's going to bring you peace, it's going to bring you happiness, and it's going to bring you the prospect of a better future. So there is this aspects of you being happier this week. Again, there might be some signs, or it might be because of promotion, or it might be because of you having signs that you can finally leave your 9 to 5 and succeed into whatever you're trying to build there with the Eight of Pentacles, your new business or a project or whatever it can be. But this week is going to you're going to see the signs, and you're going to be happy about seeing the signs, and it's going to provide you with a lot of joy, a lot of happiness. The horse also for me in the tower always represents the freedom, so you gaining also some kind of freedom, and I think like that's because you're closing some kind of chapter in your life. So there's a chapter that is ending, a new one beginning that is giving you more freedom. Okay, so it's almost like you are freeing yourself from some kind of things that were trapping you, and you deciding to close the chapter of this part of your life and opening a new chapter. And that's why you also have this, this person is like kind of like freeing herself from the chaos. And you can see here they have the same position, and here you can see the same, it's almost the same person, but this person is free, there's this sense of freedom from the chaos, maybe. So maybe you closing a chapter that was a bit chaotic in your life, and you're opening a new one that is much brighter, much joyful, much happier. And yeah, it's just one of the best cards of the tower. For the next card, we have the High Priestess, and the High Priestess speaks about you having to trust your intuition. So you're receiving probably messages from, your higher self, your angels, your guides, whatever it can be. But trust your intuition, because you receiving message from your intuition. So you know what, when we have gut feelings, it's your intuition trying to speak to you. So you need to trust your intuition. The High Priestess is also the archetype in the tarot that is between two worlds, so in between the real world, and in between like the kind of like dream world we would call it, or the ethereal world. So it's a little bit more in between these two worlds. This person is in between the two worlds, and she can join the two worlds together. So whatever you feel like you want to achieve, you can achieve it, but you just need to listen to your intuition, listen to the messages that you receive. You may be receiving messages from, in your dreams or whatever it can be. So I would pay attention to your dreams as well. So if you can, when you wake up and you remember a dream, just try to write down what you remember from this dream. But yeah, the High Priestess is the in between world, and she's very wise, and there's a lot of knowledge as well. She has knowledge that is kind of hidden. So she has hidden knowledge, and she gets this hidden knowledge by listening to her intuition, and by being in these two different worlds between the ethereal and the real, and she brings the ethereal messages she gets into the real world. It's kind of like she's creating her own reality by bringing the messages that she receives in the ethereal world into the real world. So, but yeah, listen to your intuition. Your intuition is going to be the guide that is essentially helping you closing this chapter and opening this new one. So there may be some work that you need to do to open up to your intuition. That's why the Eight of Pentacles is here as well. Maybe there's some work that you need to do regarding your spirituality, all the things that you are experiencing in terms of like maybe angel numbers, mirror numbers like 1111, 22, 22, anything like this that maybe you need to learn a little bit more about them and research a little bit more about them to be able to receive the messages that this high priestess is trying to communicate to you. Next card, we have the Six of Wands, and the Six of Wands speaks about victory. So whatever you've been asking yourself, whatever step of your life you are in now, this chapter is ending and this new chapter is starting and is going to be a victorious chapter. Again, there's the horse, so there's also some kind of freedom being gained, but the Six of Wands is almost like the warrior being to war and coming back victorious. So whatever the chapter was up until now, this chapter is closing and now you're going to be on a successful trail, on a successful um, journey, okay, a successful new adventure. This is a card of success. This is also a card that says that you are the star of your own life, okay? You are the under the spotlight. So you're going to experience um, attention. People will be drawn to you because they feel like you've achieved something. Like I said, with the world, it's a card of achievement. So people feel that you've achieved some kind of chapter and you're ready to start a new one, but you also feel like you're starting a new one with more confidence. The Six of Wands is representative of the fire suit as well, the fire energy and fire signs. So like Leo, all the fire signs, Leo, Aries, they are very confident. So you are also going to express this kind of confidence in you, okay, this week. So this is why it's going to be victorious as well, because people will be drawn to you and they will want to support you. But definitely, again, another good card. You can see these two cards again. You can see some kind of like color scheme here where it's almost like we're closing a chapter here with the world. Then it becomes a little bit greener. So here you can see the blue. Here is a little bit less blue. It's a little bit more green. And then here we go to um, bright orange and yellows and red. And here again, we have this kind of color scheme again, where it's a little bit more, we need to find out, we need to listen to our intuition, we need to work a little bit on listening to our guts to, again, another victorious and joyful and all these bright colors, yellow, oranges, reds, all these type of things. So there's a color scheme again. And then for the last card, we have the Four of Pentacles. Of course, we have this card here, which I will read after that. But for the last card of this spread, we have the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles is, to me, at least in the tarot, speaks about two things. It speaks about when you become successful, when things are going better, when you are joyful, happy, victorious. Make sure that you don't keep everything for yourself. Share this joy, share this happiness, share the peace that you feel with others. Okay, it doesn't have to be with everyone, but share it with the one that you love. Share it with the one that you care about. Make them happy. Share this joy. Like joy is something that is very infectious. So if you share your joy, it will infect other people as well, and they will feel joyful, they will feel hopeful. It's almost like they will be like, okay, well, they are happy, so I'm happy. The people that are loving you, they just want you to be happy. So it's a card that says that, but it's also a card that says like different things. So it's also a card that says like, if for example it's financial success, don't hold on to your money too tight. Again, share your money with others. invite people to the restaurant. It doesn't have to be like you give everything away, but make the people that count for you happy, and it doesn't have to be big. As I said, like invite them to the restaurant once in a while, and they'll be happy, they'll be grateful, they'll be, it will maybe make them feel worthy of something. You never know what's going on in someone's mind, but don't hang on too tight on your victories, your successes, your money, your victories. And it's also a card that says like it's time to let go of the past. So don't hold on too much to your belief systems, to what you know or what you knew, to all the things that were in the past, all the things that were holding you back in the past. It's time to let go. Okay, so it's time to let go of the past. It's time to start this new chapter. So now we're going to look at this card that dropped here, and we have the King of Pentacles. So yes, again, it could be related to money, this reading that I've said. So the successes, the victorious aspects of it, the joy, the happiness, the freedom also that you gain, the work. It could be that your work is finally paying off, because the King of Pentacles is the king that has everything, especially materially speaking. So he has everything. He's reached the life that he wanted to reach, and it's more because he's planned his life carefully. So it's not because it happened from a day to another. So I think like you've worked to get where you are, and now you're going to see the result of your work, and you're going to reach the life that you always wanted to reach. So that's it for the tarot reading. That was a very good tarot reading. So now I'm going to pull a card from the angels, or I will pull 3 cards. I usually do 3 messages from the angels, so I will do that, and then we'll go ahead with the other oracles. If you like this reading, again, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments how it resonates with you. I'm always happy to understand how it resonates with people. We have this one again that jumped out. So we'll have 4 cards, I guess. But yeah, let me know in the comments. Subscribe, like, comment. Subscribing doesn't cost anything, liking doesn't cost anything, commenting costs a little bit of your energy, but it doesn't cost anything. Ultimately, it's free, but it helps the channel grow, and it helps the message and the reading spread to whoever needs to see it. So if you could do that, that would be greatly appreciated, and I thank everyone that has been commenting and liking so far. So let's go and see. We have the High Priestess coming back, and the 8 of, so we have a lot of cards coming back, so it's just confirming the messages that I've been saying. So we have the High Priestess first, and it's the Archangel Haniel. So if you want to summon kind of, or gather the energy of this Archangel in case you need help or reassurance, you can. But it says powerful psychic insight. So as I said, like listen to your intuition, reflection and meditation that provides valuable information. So yes, it's also a card that says like in order for you to receive the messages, you may need to be at peace, be quiet, be meditating in some ways to be able to get the messages. And then it says be at peace. Then we have the 8 of Gabriel, and it says it's the same as the 8 of Pentacles, it's the same card. So it says a great deal of activity, sudden and immediate results, important communication. So it's more like the 8 of Wands, but it's another 8. And it's saying that you're going to receive some important communication that is going to spark things for you. So it's closing this chapter and starting a new one, but it might be through communication. And again, like I said, with the High Priestess, if you can listen to your intuition, if you can listen to your dreams, write down what you see in your dreams, that could also be messages. There are a lot of birds here. The birds are messengers, so it could also be through you seeing birds at unexpected time. Anyway, pay attention to signs. And then finally we have the Empress, with Archangel Gabriel. So it's another archangel that you can summon to gather the energy, or to have the energy of this archangel following you this week. and it says time to act upon your plans. So as I said, with the King of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles has a plan. That's why he's reached this level of abundance, is because he had a plan. So now it's time to act on your plans. Creativity is rewarded, and it says luxurious or abundant resources. So again, as I said, there's going to be a lot of good things happening for you. Good, um, a new chapter is starting and it's going to be good. And a new chapter is starting this week, but you also need to act on your plans. You need to start something. And finally, we had this card that jumped out, and it's King of Ariel, and says successful, stable, accomplished, powerful. And this is the King of Pentacles, and it says your plans are working out very well. Professional and financial success. Use resources wisely. So this is also a message of the Four of Pentacles, is to use resources wisely. So that's why I told you, you can share your resources, you can share your successes, you can share your joy, but don't share it with everyone. Share it with the people that you care about and the people that love you, you know. So this is a message, but you have the King Ariel that basically jumped out of the deck. So again, this is a message to reaffirm what I've told you with the King of Pentacles. So now I'm gonna pull cards from this deck, which is the Oracle of the Triad. So I'm gonna pull 3 cards just to have a little bit of messages, what the deck want to tell us, maybe some things that we need to work on, or maybe some things that, you know, are going to help us achieve this. This is a very particular deck, so it's very hard to know what kind of messages we have. So here we have this card that dropped off again. I will keep it here, as you know, I will read it after I pull the cards. So let's have a look what we have here for you. Yeah, there's a lot of good things again. So we have this, which is it's in French, so it says racine in French, and in English is roots. So it's basically a card that says that we need to be anchored. Is basically a card that speaks about you having to ground yourself. Okay, so ground yourself. The King of Pentacles is someone that is very grounded, is someone that is very stable and accomplished. So there's this aspects of you having to be grounded into reality. With the High Priestess, when I told you this High Priestess is bringing things from a world to another, there's this aspect of you needing to be grounded, be grounding into reality, okay, to be able to um, gather the messages that you receive from spiritual or psychic insight and bringing them into a plan of action into the real world. That's why this card says like time to put your plans into action. Actually, that was another card that says that, but yeah, time to act upon your plans. So that's kind of the card that is saying that like you need to ground yourself and put things into reality. Okay, so it's not only thinking about, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to achieve this thing, I'm going to uh, achieve this dream. It's now time to put action into putting this dream. Then you have elevation, which is a card that speaks about 2 things. It speaks about spiritual elevation. So again, with the High Priestess, there is some kind of spiritual elevation happening to you. You are going to evolve spiritually and receiving more messages, receiving more insights, psychic insights. But it's also an elevation in the material world. So you're going to, again, if it's work related, you're going to gain some promotion. If it's a project you're working on, maybe you're going to see the results of your work through of this project. But there's some kind of elevation here. There's an elevation happening. And then we have retour in French, which is going back. So there's some kind of aspects of you making sure that you close this chapter and you really close the loop. You can see this loop is closing here. So there's an aspect of you having to close this chapter and not going back. So this is also a card that speaks about there may be someone or something from the past that is going to be the message that you're going to receive, that is going to spark everything again for you. But to me, in this reading, it means more that it's really time to close the chapter. You can't stay in the loop of continuously staying this chapter. You need to close it and start a new one. And then we have this card that came up and flew out of the deck when I was shuffling, and is the card that says choice. So there is a choice that needs to be made. I feel for me it's like closing a chapter is the choice, but there may be some opportunities that are going to present themselves to you, or it could be the choice of you having to act again on your projects, on the things that you want to change in your life. It is not gonna happen from a day to well, it might happen from a day to another, but it might not happen. It won't happen if you don't do nothing. You know, you have the choice to move forward. You have the choice to to put actions into place to make things happen. And now I'm going to finish the reading with one keyword that you can take with you for the week, and it's going to be kind of the keyword that ends the reading, and um, it's kind of the keyword for the week. So let's have a look. Again, if you like this reading and if it resonates with you, please let me know in the comments. And again, like I said, liking is free, commenting is free as well, but it's taking a little bit more of your energy. But liking and subscribing doesn't take any of your energy. So if you can just like the video and comment and let me know what you think and how it resonates with you. So let's have a look and see what the keyword of this week is. And we have fear. So this keyword says to me that it is more related to the choice. Don't be scared of closing the chapter. Don't be afraid. So the keyword is fear. But to me, it says actually it's exactly what you need to avoid. To be fearful of this new chapter starting, to be fearful of making choices, to be fearful of taking actions to actually make your dreams a reality. This is the exact thing that you need to avoid is fear. And that couldn't be a more beautiful keyword to end on, because this is exactly what you need to avoid. To avoid to be scared. And with the Four of Pentacles, when I told you it's a card that also says like to not hold on to the past, don't be afraid to let go of the past. And fear is just this, you know, fear is going to prevent you to reach your dreams. So this is exactly the keyword that you need to keep in mind, because you it's the keyword that says that you don't need to um, let fear stay. You need to get rid of fear, and you need to move on, and you need to close a chapter and start a new beginning. And you don't need to be afraid. You don't need to be afraid of anything. Things will be fine. As I've seen on this card, you have the Sun and the Six of Wands, which are very successful cards. The World card is a very successful card. You have a lot of great messages, angel messages. So it's going to be a nice chapter if you are brave enough to start this new chapter and close the previous one and start a new one. But the thing that is going to hold you from these great things, this happiness, this joy, this peace, this harmony, is going to be fear. So this is the thing that you need to pay attention to not be fearful of starting this new chapter. So yes, that was the reading for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it makes sense to you. I hope it resonates. If it does, please let me know in the comments. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye bye.